I really meant it more just in terms of as artists, not so much guitar players. And in fact, this is one of the problems that I always had with distortion, period, is the fact that it's kind of a given that it has to be there in many people's minds. You know what I mean? And they kind of equate it with, as you said, Stephen, with more aggressive playing, more kick-ass playing, and that's part of what guitar is, and so we have to be that, and it has to burn and all that stuff. And look, I'm not arguing with any of that. I love it as much as anybody else, and I try to do it as much as anybody else. But I am somewhat uncomfortable with the aspect of that. That's just kind of us doing what we're supposed to do. And speaking for myself, I didn't pick up a guitar in the first place to do what I was supposed to do. So it kind of seems ironic to be kind of doing something that is essentially like, no, I want to do what I want to do, not what you want me to do. I want to play the guitar. You know, I don't want to be an investment banker or a military general or whatever, or even a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief. You know, I want to be a guitar player. To then suddenly start playing by the rules seems counterproductive or counterintuitive or less artistic, I should say. Because what artists do is they question stuff like that. They question givens. And, you know, thanks to Jimi Hendrix, everybody expects the guitar to be that kind of noisemaker. And you know, there's other things that exist, obviously. But even even within the genres of like more straight ahead playing or whatever, more various folk musics that exist or whatever, there's still that element of it has to kick ass like Jimmy did. And although, again, I'm not arguing with that really, I'm just saying, who says it has to, you know? And so you question it, and by questioning it, it may lead to other things. And the more you can do, the more we can do that, the more we can question these givens that are handed to us about what we're doing, then I believe, it's my thought, that the more personal our music can become. Because the more I just accept that, you know, the clean stuff's for the pretty stuff and the pretty chords, and then when I kick on the distortion pedal, then I'm really going to kick ass, you know, or whatever. I mean, that's just one tiny, you know, cliche within the vast bunch of luggage that we're handed, you know, when we say we play the guitar. But if we don't question those things, you know, not to sound like a broken record here, I think we can just sort of miss things, miss opportunities to push things in different directions, because you don't want everybody playing the same way, you know. So much as I love blues guitar, you don't want everybody playing blues guitar. You just don't. And not everybody has to play it. Not everybody has to be able to play it. You know what I mean? There's no rule about that unless we think there is. So I meant it more like that, Stephen, rather than practice shedding your shredding stuff, shedding the shredder. Now, I wasn't so much saying play clean for that and then add the pedal with it so you can be stronger that way. I was saying play clean to see what else there is in the creative world, you know, basically. But I know you're doing that. I'm just a way to talk about this point about not accepting givens, basically, as an artist. Now, if you're not so interested in being an artist, I mean, most of the great music, I believe, in the world is made by people who aren't artists and don't want to be and don't pretend to be. That's not what they're doing. They're just being like, I don't know, the best reggae guitar player they can be or whatever, you know, which means completely and fully embracing the genre, the idiom, and doing that. And it's not so much about like looking for different ways to do it. It's just getting good at doing it the way it's been done. And like I say, that's most of the music in the world. And I love and respect that music because that's hard too, really hard to do great. But if you do have ideas that are more artistic, which means more innovative, by definition, that's, what is it? The obligation of art is to innovate. That's part of what the word means. That's part of what creativity means. So depending on how that important that is to you, and again, there's no value judgment here. It's not better if you're that or better if you're something else or anything like that. It's just what our interest is. If that's your interest, then you have to start questioning the givens, because the second you pick up the guitar, you're going to be subject to those kinds of demands. That said, I can't wait to get way, way into this high gain thing I'm into now.